Joining us virtually to analyze some of these stories is the Lagos State Action Alliance governorship candidate in the 2023 elections, Tokpe Balogun. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today on the News Hour.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Thank you so much. It's so great to have you here. We're really happy to have you. Let's talk. There are quite a number of things to talk about. But permit me to actually begin from the local government elections that were conducted across Lagos on July 12th. Just what is your general assessment of that election, especially given the fact that the APC won 56 out of 57 seats in that election?
Well, there's nothing new about state elections in Nigeria that's transpired on Saturday because the truth has been established about what we have always said in the past, that state electoral commissions are wired to do the bidding of the ruling party of each of the states. And that is what eventually happened. You can go online and see different videos of overvoting, rigging activity. But there was clearly voter apathy. So people did not actually come out en masse as expected, or people that are interested in choosing their leaders in truth. But then results must be declared. So few people that came, and you know the rule is the person that has the highest number of votes, simple majority votes, is not, they don't count the number of registered voters or the number of people that are agitated without coming to eventually vote. So I think it's just what it is in Nigeria political system as of today, and possibly with time we are going to overcome the challenges of people not getting so much interest, of not getting well educated on why they have to be interested in choosing their leader. So for me, there's nothing really new. It is almost the same thing everywhere in all the states across the federation. So Lagos State is not really doing something different from what others have done.
Elections held on July 12th. But let's move on to more recent issues. Nigerians received news of the tragic death of immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course, some criticism and commendation has followed since this was announced. Quite a number of Nigerians remember him for some of the events that happened towards the twilight, or do I say the evening hour of his administration, from the cash crunch to the NSAS protests. There were a lot of issues, and Nigerians say these are the reason why, though they're not happy to hear that he's dead, but they cannot celebrate the life that he lived. While, of course, certain people are commending him and saying that this man was a beacon of democracy, someone who was able to rule Nigeria both as a military leader and as a civilian leader. He must have had something special about him. I'd like to get your perspective on this.
We want to commiserate with Nigerians generally, because as Africans, when life is lost, we mourn the person, we feel pain, no matter how bad situation may be. Life is something that is very sacred, that must be respected at all costs. Nobody deserves to die anyway, even though you just have to die at one point in time or the other. General Muhammadu Buhari was my leader in the days of CPC. I was the state secretary of CPC in Lagos. All through the time CPC went into the merger with other parties to back APC. So in one way, we had contacts at different points in time, and I was able to see him, meet him, stay close beside him, listen to him, have physical contacts with him at different fora while we were in the same political party. And I want to eventually assess his administrative pattern with what we anticipated they were at variance eventually, because what we knew that made us to support him with that passion back then was that he was a disciplinarian, he was going to get so many things set right. But immediately he got the opportunity to emerge as the president of Nigeria, he made a very, very serious statement, possibly because people did not count that statement. So we were not able to understand that he was not going to perform at his optimal. He said he wished that he was younger and was around 40 something years when he is now becoming the president. So he had already foretold us back then that he was weak to actually do what he actually wants to do ordinarily. So, and that eventually fell on his administration, and that was why we were having a lot of flip-flop here and there, which we have not actually come up till now. The spillover of some of the things he did has not been undone by the present administration. And that's why when the present administration came in, they were still blaming him for their non-performance. So for me, he was not able to be at par with what people perceive of him before, because Nigeria supported him en masse, and the like one of your reporters said that he is the first Nigerian, this are present democratic setting, that defeated an incumbent. So it's not something that you come by easy in Nigeria political environment where an incumbent is defeated. He was the first person that did it. And it was because Nigerians were tired of a particular pattern of governance in Nigeria. But then they didn't give us something extraordinary, and we are still towing that line. And that is why people will have a kind of mixed feeling about him. He wanted it passionately, but he disappointed so many of us that were youths anyway, that were following him back then. Because I used many of my youthful age to campaign for, to support. I used my resources. I left so many things that I had to see as opportunity cost in the course of changing the tide.
All right,
then nothing has really changed to date.
Let me come in here, Mr. Tokpa. You talked a lot about, why the president didn't perform as he expected, right? His wife had come out, the first lady then had come out to say that the cabal was the one that was caging her husband, that he couldn't perform as he should, right? And there were also allegations of him not being aware most of the time of what was going on in the country. Now, take a look at the first 6 months when he, came on board as president. He didn't form his cabinet. He even called himself Baba Go Slow, right? Do you think things like that, apart from age not being on his side, do you think things like that, not forming the cabinet 6 months into his administration, being caged by the cabal, would have been reasons why he also didn't perform like he would have done under a military regime where you just ruled by fiat?
No, I do not agree that those were reasons for him not to perform. Like I told somebody, if we actually mean well for this country, we need somebody that is youthful enough to be able to do the executive. But many of the people that are trying to become the president should think, all right, they should go to the legislative. That is where their experiences are needed. They should go to the legislative arms of the government to actually promulgate laws based on their own, so they can think deeper. They can look. But we need somebody that is very agile.
Are you with us, sir? Can you hear us? Mr. Balogun, are you there?
The truth, due to their psychophancy, they'll be pushing narratives that the president will want to hear. And that is why it is very, very important that we have youthful government. I think his youthful age has elapsed him, and that is telling. That told on him during his tenure. It's not because he wasn't able to form cabinet. Forming the cabinet for him to perform extraordinarily is not something that is also easy. You cannot just pick all Tom, Dick, and Harry to become your ministers and members of the cabinet. So he had to understudy each one of them and say, but he had to call himself Bagosco because that is the truth. We have CDAs in our communities. It is the youth that really do the work. If anything happens, we only go to them for consultation, for advice. But people that really do the work, that come up with initiatives that are in tandem with the realities of our time are the youth. So if you have CDA in our communities, our CDCs, where youths are the real people that are really moving the fabric of the environment positively. And you are talking about number of streets that are not more than possibly 10, 15 or thereabouts. Then let's look at a country like Nigeria. How do you expect somebody that is as old as 70 years old to actually find his way around the reality of our time? So these are realities that we are yet to face as a country. And until we shift the paradigm, so there's no paradigm shift, then we may continue to have somebody like Baba Goslow or somebody that will be manipulative enough to be speaking grammar when we have to do work instead of just speaking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Balogun. We really need to let you go right now. We do appreciate you for joining us. But in about 30 seconds, I'd like to ask you how the AA is actually preparing for forthcoming elections. We did not see the party play a huge role or field many candidates in the local government elections that just took place on July 12th. That was about 2 days ago, last Saturday. But how's the party preparing for 2027? The ADC has come together. There's an opposition coalition. How will the AA feature in the 2027 general elections? Because whether you like it or not, politicking is taking place right now and political permutations are in serious gear.
Speak on behalf of AA as of today because the party is factionalized and I had to absorb myself from both factions. As of today, we have a faction that is controlled by a southwesterner, another one being controlled by a southeasterner. And both of them are claiming leadership. Even though one is recognized by INEC at a point, another one was recognized. You know, the flip-flop is becoming too much. We have to pull off the system for now and look at how we chart our way forward in the next coming dispensation. Because the next coming dispensation is going to be between what we have and what we desire. So we are going to move on with what we desire as much as possible, and we are going to.
Honorable Balogun, I'll have to come in here. I'll have to come in here, but big thanks to you for gracing news today, and we thank you for your very insightful analysis. We have been speaking with Lagos State Action Alliance governorship candidate in the 2023 elections, Tope Balogun. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.